And then he saw me, and I was in my full Munster makeup. I had the pointed ears and the widow's peak, lipstick. And he was like, "Hey, how's it go? Wow, do you love wearing the makeup?" Like he turned into a child. He was like so into it. And I just, like I said, I couldn't form a sentence. I was like, "Yeah, good. Yeah, I like it."
Team, today our guest is a great actor, voice actor, singer, producer, and director. We've seen him in shows such as General Hospital, Step by Step, Boy Meets World, Full House, and many of you may know him as the voice of Thackeray Binks in Hocus Pocus, Max Goof, Haku, Chase Young, and so many more. This is Jason Marsden.
Hello, everybody.
Wow.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes. Check out your badass Michael Jackson poster behind you.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan.
Right on. I got to meet him once.
Really?
It was pretty epic. I mean, I get starstruck anyway, but I could barely form a sentence.
Oh,
That's
my
amazing.
God. Wow. So Jason, I just want to explain how we do the interviews here. So we're going to ask you some questions about your career, and then we're going to ask you some random questions like about your likes and things like that.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
But first of all, thank you so much for being here with us. It's really an honor to us, and I hope you have fun.
I know I will. Muchas gracias for having me.
Oh, you speak Spanish.
I hablo español very badly.
That's
I would try to pick up these little phrases here. I had learned. I was dedicating myself to, like, you know, if I see a Spanish speaking person in my neighborhood, I should learn phrases to communicate. And because I was selling stuff on like Facebook Marketplace, and it'd be like a Latino family would come up, and I would just try to be funny. So I tried to learn to say, like, I should have learned Spanish in school instead of French, but that was tricky.
Well,
what was it? It was a hold on, I wrote down here. Debería haber tomado español en lugar de francés.
Yeah, that's
that's really good.
That it? Okay.
Yeah, we're from Mexico, so we can teach you.
Yes, I know. That's it, because I know, like, I use like the Google Translate, and sometimes it's not exactly.
No, sometimes the translation is like Spain Spanish.
Okay.
Which is really weird that Spain Spanish is even taught in schools in the US, because like we're closer to Mexico, I feel like.
You know, America's just resistant to anything that's, you know, that helps bring cultures together.
Yeah, but sometimes there are words that doesn't really match with the meaning in Spanish, and like, I don't know, some bad words or something else. Like in Spanish, it doesn't mean the same thing as in English, or the other way.
Okay. Lo siento. That's I am sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I say that a lot in Spanish, huh?
That's enough for now. Well, we're gonna start with the first question.
Okay.
What have you done in the quarantine?
What have I done in the quarantine? I have learned to bake sourdough bread. I've made my own mayonnaise. I have binge watched Fargo. I have made a television show. I made a YouTube show, the Mars Variety Show. I want everyone to watch it. I learned to be an introvert, I guess, which is not really me. I like to go out and experience things. So I've kind of gotten too comfortable in my own house. Yeah. That's just a little bit. There's so much more. I made a a sound booth in my house so I can work from home.
Wow.
I've short answers. I've adapted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
but
us,
that's a good thing.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you
like
guys?
we would go out to like events and things like that, but we pretty much stayed home when we weren't at events. So like it was nothing new for us, just weird to not go to events anymore.
Yeah, they have the same. It's like as an actor, because all my actor buddies and I are like, well, nothing's really changed. I mean, I'm home, waiting for an audition or waiting for a job. What's
Yeah.
missing is like, not going to my local bars, not going to, I live in Nashville, so not going to see live music, the movies, the communal experiences I've had.
Yeah, the movies is a really big thing for us. We haven't gone to the movies in such a long time. It feels really weird not to go.
Our local art house theater is going to open next week, they announced, and I'm excited. I get concerned because they're at like 20% capacity. I mean, they're doing it, but I'm like, there's no possible way they could be making money. I mean, it's an art house, so they're funded by donations in the city. Yeah. But I try to support them because I love movies. It's one of those institutions that should not go away.
Yeah,
I feel.
So, where did your love for the arts come from?
I guess just probably my stepfather. My stepfather was a ballet teacher, and so I was kind of grew up like going with him to work, which would be choreographing, Nutcracker or Giselle or Coppelia, and witnessing ballet on stage. And he had gone to Yugoslavia and trained overseas, and so he had a worldly opinion about arts. I guess it's kind of where that interest sort of came from. But I've always been, I mean, if you mean art specifically, like movies, television, just being an only child, watching a lot of TV, I guess.
Okay.
Relatable.
So,
I'm also an only child.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, you're in Mexico, right? Both of you?
I'm in San Diego and he's in Tijuana. So like we're right next to each other. There's just a border between us.
Are you of Latin descent?
Yes, I am.
I'm surprised because I thought Latinos have big families.
Yeah, I know. But no, not me. I'm an only child, and it's really funny because I'm the only child in my family. All my cousins have lots of brothers and sisters, and then there's me.
So you're spoiled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the favorite spoiled, like the last one. Yes, I know what that's like.
I think that concept is old because now youngs
younger generations.
Yeah, the young generations don't want kids or one kid or
or two kids. Like Luis, he only has one brother, so like his family is not that big either.
Yeah.
Did your parents come from big families?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so they know like I want to be around this. I want a small, contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this, they don't have television, so
That's always
why.
Each other. Right.
Always the joke with Latino families. They don't have a TV, and that's why they have so many kids.
Right. Love it.
We have a lot of questions to ask. Yes. But we don't have a lot of time. So we're gonna just rescue some projects that you have. So
am I talking too much? Should I make shorter answers?
No,
no, you're fine.
Okay. You can.
I mean, we could easily make another link if we end up running out of some time, but I think this link only gives us about 45 minutes.
Oh, so, I see what you mean. Okay, gotcha. I forgot about
the Zoom. So it's not us. We could go on talking for hours.
Well, how did you get to the movie Hocus Pocus?
That was just an audition, my man. I mean, I just got a call from my agent saying they're looking for the voice of this cat. They wanted this kind of old world, sort of British sort of sound for this cat, and I read for it, and then I booked it. And it's funny. I actually read for the role of Max that Omri Katz played, and I was on set, because I was working on a TV show next door to Hocus Pocus.
On Boys Meet World.
On Boy Meets World, yeah. And I knew Vanessa Shaw, and I knew Omri. So I would go over and visit the set. This is before I even knew I was going to work on the movie. But yeah, it was just an audition, and went in my favor.
How does it feel to be part of a movie that became a Halloween classic?
It feels pretty good. I mean, to think that people watch Hocus Pocus habitually every year, like
I watch it all year.
or all year, you know, it's like their tradition that that has to be on. Like I would watch like A Christmas Story or It's a Wonderful Life, you know, like it feels good. It feels good.
I was actually Danny for Halloween.
Were you? Right on.
Only thing that I needed was my
The
black
Black Cat.
cats. The only thing I needed was my Binks, and I didn't have one.
Oh no, you did not have a black cat, you poor thing. Who protected you from the witches?
So I had Luis take a picture with me, and here we are as Danny and Max.
Ah, that's great. You look amazing.
Thank you. I made the whole costume myself, so that was fun, and I really enjoyed doing that.
Fantastic. I just did a virtual Comic-Con with Vanessa Shaw and Thora Birch, and Thora says that she loves it when that people are dressing up like her.
Yeah. I've seen quite a few Hocus Pocus costumes this year, so that was really fun to see so many costumes from the movie, and then people take pictures with their black cats.
Yes.
Yeah, and we hear rumors, but we don't. They it's not confirmed yet. But what do you think about the second part of Hocus Pocus?
I hope it's as good as the first. I hope that it doesn't. I hope that it's worthy of a sequel. I I have not gotten a phone call. I have no one's called me to be in it just yet. I don't know if it would make sense. I mean Thackeray did his thing. I don't know how they would bring him back anyway. That would make sense. But you know, like any movie that you love, when they do a follow-up, you hope that it's just as good. That it gives you the same feeling as the first one. You know?
Yeah, because it has been 23 years more.
Like 26.
Yeah, it's almost 27 years now, I think.
27, yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope that if it does happen, that it's just as good as the first, because the first one is one of my absolute favorites.
Right.
And
You say you watch it all year, so I guess it has to be.
Binks is my favorite character. I've always wanted to get a black cat and name him Binks. So
Fantastic.
fingers crossed.
Well, you're very well known for your roles on Boys Meet World, Full House, Step by Step. What do you most enjoy about each of these shows?
Just a little warning, no spoilers for Full House because Luis is barely watching it. I've seen it a million times, but I barely got him to watch it this year. So
all right, so I won't tell him that Nelson hooks up with Kimmy. No, well, since we're talking about Full House, I loved working on Full House because number one, I was a fan. First and foremost, I had known Candace since we were kids, and they treated me like I was part of the cast. They were so nice to me. And Bob Saget, every time like they would go to dinner, he would go out of his way to include me. I mean, like it was such a great set. It was so much fun, and I had a blast doing that show. Boy Meets World was great because I made a solid, long-lasting friendship with Will Friedle, who actually we both read for that role of Eric, and I gave it to him. I was like, you know, I'll just throw this one in. He can have it. No, he earned it fair and square. But they gave me that part to play his friend. They wrote that part for me, so I got to play his friend, and he and I are still buds to this day. And you say Step by Step, was that another?
Yeah.
One?
yes,
another show that, again, like they were on like 5 seasons before they added me to the cast, and they treated me like I was there since day one. And I learned a lot. I had so much fun. I loved everyone working on that show. It was a good time.
I've seen every single show, and I absolutely loved you in all of them. But I think my favorite definitely had to be Boy Meets World. That
Right on.
show was so important to my childhood. I mean, I was born in '96, but I grew up watching those shows because of my mom. So
Okay.
those shows mean so much to me.
Right
And
on.
getting to interview you right now is just so crazy to me.
Yes.
Like a childhood dream come true.
I hope I'm living up to your expectations.
You are. So you have brought life to Max Goof, one of the most iconic Disney characters. What's your favorite thing about Max?
I love that Max is so much like his dad in a way, that he's got his dad's laugh. He looks like him. And even though in Max's brain, it's probably the last thing he wants to be is right. But I know that he loves his dad so much. I love his relationship that he has with Goofy, who seems like such an unassuming character to have spawned a child, but he did. Clearly, he had to have. Uh, between Mickey and Donald, Goofy's the one who's had sex. So imagine what that was like. But yeah, that's Matt. I love playing Max.
How did
An extremely goofy movie is one of my favorite movies ever. I love it so much.
Yes,
And
yeah.
that part where Max is so mean to Goofy, I'm like,
Uh,
why? You're just like him.
I know it broke my heart because like if first off, if I talk to my dad like that, I get smacked in the face. I mean, like that's just please don't
I
talk to your parents
know.
like that, you know. Uh, but that our director Kevin Lima, I mean, that's the way he pushed it. I mean, that's the teen angst of that time. I don't know. You guys probably didn't talk to your parents like that,
I
did you?
definitely did not.
Yeah.
No.
And in all, like, and as now when I recorded that, I was 18 years old, 18, 19 years old. So I kind of identified, I understood where Max was coming from. Now, as I'm older, as a dad, now I'm on this Goofy side. I'm like, man, he just want to take his boy fishing. That's all he wanted to do.
yeah. What do you like most about voice acting?
I love voice acting because I grew up watching cartoons. Back in the day, it was only Saturday mornings that we had cartoons, and that was like you had school during the week, and they had a little bit of programming for kids then, but then Saturdays was like my day, and then my friends were like the Smurfs and the Super Friends and all these other characters, and then Transformers and GI Joe. Like I loved these shows growing up. So then I'm 11 years old. I start acting, and I'm introduced into the voiceover world, and I'm working with people that I used to listen to as a kid. So it's a tremendous joy to me to have done that. And also, I know how it feels. I know how it feels for you guys to get to talk to someone who works on projects that you loved growing up. Because I was that guy. Plus, you could show up to work in your pajamas. You don't have to memorize your lines. You know, it's good money. It's fun.
That's the best part,
Yeah.
showing up in your pajamas.
Yes.
Who has been your favorite character to voice?
Oh, it's like picking your favorite child. Luckily, I only have one child. Uh, I love them all for so many different reasons. Max, because people will often say that they love a Goofy movie because they had a tumultuous relationship with their parents, but they they formed a relationship watching a Goofy movie. I loved working on this show called Rescue Bots because it was a Transformers show, and I was a Transformers nerd growing up. And everyone on the cast and crew, we got along so hard that we still call each other family. We all still to this day share a text thread because we got along so hard on that show. And Hocus Pocus I love because it's a big standing like Halloween tradition. There's so many. I can give you an answer for if you tell me your favorite, and I'll give you an answer for that one. It's hard to pick just one,
My
I
favorite.
think
It's
it's
hard
hard
for
for us
me to pick just one.
right? I
Hard
was
for
never that guy to be like, "What's your favorite song? Who's your favorite band?" I can't pick just one. It's all depending on like my mood or what's interested to me at the time.
Okay. What Which character has brought you challenges while filming or voice acting?
I worked on a movie called White Squall, which not a lot of people saw, but it's a Ridley Scott movie. If you don't know Ridley Scott, he directed Thelma and Louise and Alien. Um, uh, uh, and it was, I was 20 years old. It was the first time I had booked anything that big. We went to like 8 countries in 4 months. It was the longest I'd been away from my family, furthest I'd been away from home by myself. There was physical demands to it. I grew up kind of a comedic actor, and this is a very dramatic movie, and I learned a lot, doing that. Not every scene has to be about me. Not every scene has to have a joke in it. So that was a challenging, and it's a good movie. It wasn't a big box office hit, but it's really well done. And I'm proud of my work in that. Voiceover wise, challenging. I did this show called Mucha Lucha.
All right.
Yes, and I had taken over the role from Carlos Arazaki, who originated the role of Ricochet. And I think he was busy doing Reno 911 or something. So they brought me in to do it, and Ricochet was easy for me because he's a young sort of. I can do like a slight Latin sort of sound. But they also threw me this other role that Carlos was doing, who was this big masked Mexican wrestler referee.
Oh, yeah.
And he was very loud and very lot of gravel down here and lucharan and calling the shots over here. It was at the end of the day, I was done. It was like physically, I'm like, my voice was shredded. That was challenging, but it was fun. It was fun.
I love Mucha Lucha. It was
me too.
Very
I had
good show.
so much fun doing that show. Candy Milo, who played the Flea, I loved her. I loved showing up to work, just listening to what she was going to do, because she's crazy. And I mean, like in a lovely way. Like she is so funny and so like just doesn't care. And you could feel that exuding from the Flea. And Kimberly Brooks, who was the other character, I can't remember the gal's name, but it was such a fun show to work on.
I don't remember I don't know in English, but in Spanish it was Buena Niña.
Yes, Buena Niña. It's a Buena Girl.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I'm sure you do. Do you have any funny stories from filming on sets? Can you tell us your favorite?
Let me think of one that you guys might like. Do we have to be age appropriate here? Can we allow bad language, or should I make it PG?
You can say bad words.
You can, yeah.
Things.
Not on TV.
Do you know you have a fun story I should talk that you like? About what? About anything that I've talked about on set? Story? Told the Michael Jackson story? I haven't told the Michael Jackson story.
We'd love to hear that.
All right. So I'm working on this show called The Munsters, and
yes,
I play Eddie Munster, who was originated by Butch Patrick, and we shot on the Universal Studios lot, and during a hiatus, I shot a commercial for a shoe company called LA Gear, and LA Gear was doing a campaign with Michael Jackson,
right?
And they were doing that campaign next door to where I was shooting The Munsters. So I knew all the crew. They're like, "Hey, Marsden, we're doing a thing with Michael Jackson. You should come over and say hi." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Absolutely. So I went over on set, and like back in the day, there was this like early 90s, like 1990. The tabloids were all about, Michael Jackson and his mask, and he seemed kind of feeble. So I expected to walk in and see this kind of feeble, fragile man sitting in a chair, unapproachable. Instead, I walked in, I saw a vibrant, normal dude dancing and talking to people and calling the shot, like telling people what to do, like he was in charge. And then he saw me, and I was in my full Munster makeup. I had the pointed ears and the widow's peak, lipstick. And he was like, "Hey, how's it go? Wow, do you love wearing the makeup?" Like he turned into a child. He was like so into it. And like I said, I couldn't form a sentence. I was like, "Yeah, good. Yeah, I like it. I like perhaps a missed opportunity. I was so in awe, and they brought me on stage. They had a stage set up, and they took photos where they kind of had a spotlight on me, but he was behind me in silhouette, and he just danced and stuff. I never got these photos. I was so upset. But I did. I can say I got to meet Michael Jackson, and he was not like I expected. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a great story. We're huge Michael Jackson fans. We actually met because of Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, Luis had a tribute dance show to Michael, so he
Really?
would dress up as Michael and
Come on.
his
You
song. Yeah.
You're a dancer as well. You grew up dancing? You're a performer?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're both actors, we're both singers. So yeah, we perform. And
all the moves, yeah.
yeah, all the moves.
I used to play the music video to Bad, and I would pause it on VHS and rewind and pause it and try to learn. I even wrote down a diagram so I could do all the dances. I've completely forgotten them now, but I love that.
I'm looking for a picture, but I can find one.
For my 20th birthday party.
Yeah.
He actually performed at an aunt's party that I didn't even want to go to. I was just like, I don't want to be here because it was family that I hadn't seen in a really long time. And I was just like, I don't really know them. And then he showed up dressed as Michael Jackson, and I was like, what is happening right now? And I begged my grandparents to throw me a party, and I only wanted this party so that he could go dance. And he danced and sharing our love for Michael. So yeah, I always say that if we ever had the chance to like go back in time and meet Michael, I probably would have nothing to say, just like you. I'd probably be like, what?
All right.
What is happening?
Here's one picture.
Check you out, Luis.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yes. Love it.
Thanks. Well, you've done a lot of voices for DC Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it feel like to be part of this big popular universe?
Feels great, man. I'm a big Batman fan. I have a Batman tattoo on my shoulder. It's a joy. You know, I look back at my career and like I got to do a lot of stuff that resonated to me as a kid, like, you know, working on Transformers, you know, I like G.I. Joe. I got to voice Duke in G.I. Joe. And you know, I loved Batman the Animated Series. I got to work on that. I got to work on Justice League. I mean, I'm thankful that they liked me so much that they kept adding me to these things. And it feels, it's tremendous. It's tremendous.
This is a Batman only household.
There you go. That's
amazing. It's a
little problem with an interview with Adriano Zumbo where like the video got kind of weird and we thought it didn't save, but it did. So we got lucky.
You talk with Adriano Zumbo of Zumbo's Just Desserts?
Yeah.
That's right.
Fucking love that show. My son and I devour that show. No pun intended.
God, yes. It was a dream for me. I'm
Was he cool?
Yes.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So cool. He was so cool, so nice.
Oh my gosh.
I'm studying culinary arts. So being able to talk to him was it felt unreal, honestly. It really did.
What did you glean from him as someone who's taking culinary arts? What did you learn from him that is important?
The most important thing that he said was that if you're going to work in food, then you have to really, really love food. Like you need to really enjoy it, because if you don't, then you're just going to be really unhappy.
Sure.
And you just have to like not care about what other people say, and you just have to have a lot of confidence in yourself.
Absolutely. Oh I love my son and I will joke because when it gets down to the Zumbo challenge, and and he's about to unveil his dish, his masterpiece. He looks so proud of himself, like almost arrogant. He's like, what's this? Yeah, oh mate, look, it floats, it lights itself on fire. It's amazing. Like, oh my gosh, like, I love that show. And then he and the other chef. Sorry.
Oh,
what's her name?
I thought you were
Rachel.
And then when they're eating and just looking at each other, like I can almost tell what they're saying. Oh my gosh, I'm addicted to that show. I hope they do. Did he say they're doing another season?
He said that he was unsure at the moment, but he would be very open to doing another season. We really hope that he does, because we got really addicted to that show too.
I've never met anyone else who knows who he is, who watches him. That's great.
Yeah,
I follow him on Instagram.
So, like you already mentioned, you currently have a YouTube show called Mars Variety Show.
Yes.
Where did the idea for the show come from?
Well, I had turned 40 years old 5 years ago, and I was obsessed with these classic variety shows of the 60s and 70s, like shows from the US called Laugh-In, Hee Haw. This is stuff way before your time. Dean Martin show, and they all had like a mixture of comedy and music and sketches, and I thought, you know what, for my birthday, I just moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and I made all these friends who were musicians and comics and circus performers, and I was like, you know what, I'll be the Dean Martin, I'll host, and I will invite my musician friends and all these guys, and I'll make a variety show. And it went over so well that we just kept doing it. And then my background is television, so I try to concoct it as a TV project. And then when COVID hit, I thought, you know, I think people will be forgiving if I do everything on my phone and do it as a web series. And so that's how it happened. It's inspired by classic variety shows, but designed to showcase the independent musician, comedian, and alt performer in Nashville and around the world.
Yeah, and thank God we have the internet and all the social medias, because
Exactly. Well, we wouldn't be talking right now, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear of Zoom. Zoom was like Zoom, Discord, all these things until after COVID hit, you know.
So many platforms to be able to communicate with people. It's insane.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, we have gotten to the part of the random questions. This is our favorite part of every interview.
Awesome.
So, Luis,
first question. What movies or shows do you recommend?
I recommend right now definitely watching Fargo on Hulu or wherever it's available, based on the movie. It's really well crafted. Each series is sort of like its own anthology. Some great performers. It's violent, so you got to deal with that. There's a show I discovered last year called Letterkenny. It's a Canadian show. It's a half-hour comedy show, and I think it's hilarious. My favorite cartoon is The Adventures of the Amazing World of Gumball. It's on
I love that
Cartoon Network. My son and I love that show. And as far as movies, what did I see recently that I loved? You know, I've been diving into, my girlfriend and I have been diving into like the older classic movies we haven't seen in a long time, like 10 Commandments and Sing in the Rain. I'd never seen Singing in the Rain before. Have you seen it?
Yes, love that movie.
I haven't.
As a singer dancer, and I see some of the posters you got back there, you would love it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, then you think about how they make these movies back in the day. They don't have phones. They have these giant, like 500-pound cameras on these cranes. Everyone has to be on point and do these long takes. It's spectacular. So recommending some new TV shows, recommending some old movies.
Perfect.
Who's your favorite singer?
Oh man. My girlfriend, who's just because she's in the room. Again, I have so many, you know. Adele melts my heart. I'm into Lizzo right now. Dolly Parton, I love.
Yes, Adele is actually back there on that wall.
There she is. Yes, yes, yes. What a great voice, you know.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, I'm into. There's so many. Again, it like depends on my mood.
the
You know,
mood,
if I really
yeah.
want to hear, if I really want to feel intense, Jack White. I like Jack White. You know, the White Stripes. Uh, um, yeah, I can't see. I can't give just one answer.
I can.
Yeah. Who's your favorite singer? Michael Jackson.
Jackson.
I didn't
He's
even
all
mention Michael
over.
Jackson.
He's all over my room.
Dig it, dig it, dig it. What about you, Luis?
My favorite singer?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson too. What?
Liliana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me.
Obviously. Obviously. I don't know. It's because I have a lot too. Like recently, Justin Timberlake, Bruno
He's
Mars,
great. Yeah, yeah.
Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
And well, I don't know, maybe you don't know them, but in Spanish, I love Alejandro Fernandez. You should listen to him.
I will look him up. Alejandro Fernandez.
And
He's
Cheyenne.
got really nice music. Yeah, Cheyenne too.
Cheyenne.
Yes, he was in a movie in the 90s with
Yes.
Williams, I think.
Yeah.
Is that her? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you
I
know
know
who
exactly what you're talking about. I can't picture him right now, but I gotta remember the movie, but I know.
We both pulled up pictures of
There you go. Both got their phones up. What movie was he in?
Dance with Me.
In the Dance with Me. Okay.
Yes, it's from
Hold on.
1998.
Alejandro Ruiz.
Fernandez.
Fernandez.
Fernandez. There we go. Oh, he's an older guy. This guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Right.
he's not old. He just has, I don't know.
He's probably my age. I say old. Okay.
You're not.
No,
I'm half 90.
He looks older because I don't know.
He's only 49.
Distinguished. He's distinguished. He's a silver fox. As my girlfriend likes to call him.
But he's a pop singer and Mexican.
Okay.
Like pop mixed with like mariachi.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
yeah.
Dig it, dig it, dig it. Okay.
Yeah. And Cheyenne, it's pop.
Okay.
It's pop, and I don't know how it's called. Puerto Rican sound.
Yeah, it's like Puerto Rican.
Okay. I'm down. Sounds good.
Okay, next question.
What's your favorite book?
Oh my goodness. My favorite book. Well, currently I'm reading Barry Sonnenfeld, Call Your Mother by Barry Sonnenfeld. Barry Sonnenfeld is a director. He directed Addams Family, and he's a cinematographer. He worked on Blood Simple. I was a Stephen King nut growing up, so I really loved. I love Stephen King. I loved it. It was my first like giant book that I devoured all by myself. I liked Life of Pi. That was a fun read. I like the Harry Potter books. I read a lot of some biographies sometimes. Again, I'm all over the place. You know.
Next question.
Amazing.
I'm pretty sure we already know the answer to this one, but gotta ask anyway.
If you could be a superhero, who would you be?
Oh man, I guess it'd be Batman. All the gadgets in the car and
Batman's a really popular answer. We've gotten that one a lot.
Yeah.
That and like Iron Man. Iron Man is the other. Yeah.
Sure. Same.
My two favorite superheroes.
There you go. Well, they're kind of the same. The billionaires. It's all their wits and their technology, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's amazing because they don't have superpowers.
No,
they just have money.
money.
It's
Yes.
all in the
I
money.
was Batman actually for Halloween.
Dude, look at you.
Right?
You're
Oh,
tall, aren't you, Luis? Are you tall?
yes,
Yeah,
he's 6
6.
feet.
6 feet, because I saw the picture of you together. That means, Liliana, are you like, how tall are you?
I'm 5'1".
Me too.
We're the same height.
Did you make that costume?
Yeah, I bought the cowl and the suit, but I did
Everything else, like all the
the
add-ons.
gauntlets. My grandma helps me with the cape because she knows how to sew.
That's
And
awesome. How does it feel putting the costume on? Feel badass.
amazing. I love to do cosplay.
Yeah, right on.
We're both cosplayers, so we like to go to a lot of cons.
Same.
And
Dig it.
we're really big on like superheroes. My favorite cosplay is Wonder Woman.
Of
That's what I
course.
have. So I
Fantastic.
love cosplaying. It's so much fun when you go up to little kids and they're like, they think that you're the character, and it's
Yes.
so cute. It's so heartwarming too.
My girlfriend is a cosplayer as well, and
Really?
she dresses as Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and she
Oh
has
my god.
a fantastic dress, and every time she goes out, the little girls surround her
Yes. Oh my
like
god.
little woodland creatures, and she sits down with them, and they sit on her lap, and it's magical to look at, you know.
Nell is my dream cosplay.
Yes, you should do it.
Yes, I definitely am gonna do it. When you're not working, what do you like to do?
Lately I like to bake. I've been, thanks to inspired by Adriana Zumbo. Um, I draw a little bit. I, play video games, watch movies, uh, relax. I go for walks around my neighborhood. I love my neighborhood, so I'll go for like nice long walks.
Perfect. What's the weirdest thing you have in your room?
Or in your house?
The weirdest thing I have in my room, in my house,
Maybe some prop,
huh?
some prop.
The Martian? Yeah, I guess it's weird. My mind's going to all the things I can't tell them. But he's like in the attic. I have a life-sized Martian from Mars Attacks in my house, but he's up in the attic.
What?
Oh my
Really?
God, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't know.
my.
My stuff is weird to me. I think it's pretty cool. I have so much cool. I have so much shit in my house. Weird. That's not weird. Well, technically it's weird. Better weird than dead. Yeah, it's true. I have a prop from a TV show that I worked on called Erie, Indiana, which I worked on with Omri from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
And I guess it's weird because the motto of the show is better weird than dead. So it's plaque featuring two of the actors that was used in the show, and I have that in my room. Yeah.
I think that's weird.
Okay.
But it's cool.
As
Yeah.
weird because they're not really common. So I guess that's the question that we ask. Not necessarily weird, but not common.
I have a little tiny Mickey Mouse figure, and he's holding a video camera, and I've put him in my bathroom on the windowsill facing the shower, like he's videotaping people in the shower.
Oh my God. That's funny. And really clever. What is something that you're scared of?
Oh gosh, you guys. I'm scared of plane crashes, being involved in one of those. Scared of our future in a way. If we all can't get along, and 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 talk to each other despite our differences, culturally, religiously, politically. Yeah, that's something that weighs heavily on me.
What's a place you like to visit?
A place I like to visit? Disney World.
Same.
I love going to Disney World. I love going for Food and Wine Fest every year at Disney at Epcot.
Oh, I really miss Disney.
We've only been to Disneyland in California, but our goal is to go to every Disney park.
Yes. I've been
go
to
together.
go together. Yes. I've been to Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World and in Disneyland California. That's about it so far.
Oh, it's amazing.
Disneyland Paris is my dream.
She loves Paris.
I've been to Paris. I went back when I was in high school, but we didn't have the chance to go to Disneyland. And now I'm like, well, I got to go back.
Definitely.
So I could go to Disneyland.
Last question.
Yeah, what can you cook?
What can I cook? I'm pretty good at breakfasts. I'm really good at eggs and omelets and pancakes. I can make a mean breakfast and I can follow a recipe. I'm not going to win any awards. I'm not going to go on Adriano Zumbo, but sourdough seems to be. I think I've nailed my sourdough so far. It's taken a couple of years, but I've got it down to a format that seems to work and people seem to like it.
Okay, last question, the one that we always finish with. What advice can you give to those who want to start a career in acting or voice acting?
Well, the answer will work for both because it's all about, the key word is acting. It's all about performing. I would say, make sure it's something that you love. Make sure that you are okay with rejection. You have to have a comfortable shell, because it's going to get beat up on a lot. And immerse yourself in scene study and improv and acting classes. It's especially with voiceover, it's no point having a unique voice or being able to do impressions unless you can perform. And I also think it's good to have life experience too. I think some of the best actors out there are the ones who have experienced, loss and love and have traveled and experienced different cultures, so you can get a feel of what different DNA to tap into, and be willing to make a fool of yourself at a moment's notice, be willing to fail, and then be willing to get back up on that horse when you fall off.
That's a great advice. And yeah, we had interviewed a lot of acting voices from Mexico. And yeah, that's something that they always say, because they always say that a lot of people go to them to like, hey, I know how to do Mickey Mouse voice.
Exactly.
Or yeah. I don't know, Donald, Goofy, or I don't know, but they like, yeah, but you need to
be able
to know how to create a voice, not just do the impression.
Exactly.
And Bill you have Farmer, to study acting because it's how it's called in English, an area from acting.
Yeah, it's like you said, like you have to breathe life into these characters. You know who Mel Blanc is?
No.
Mel Blanc voiced the original voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and Sylvester and Tweety and Yosemite Sam. He voiced all those characters.
Whoa.
Why? Why was he so good at it? Not because he was a fantastic mimic or so, but he was a brilliant performer. He breathed individual life into every one of those characters. You could close your eyes and know which voice it was because of his prowess in that. We're talking about, Mickey and Donald and Goofy, but Bill Farmer, who voices Goofy, when I do cons with him, people constantly go up to him and go, "Hey, gosh, whoa, whoa, oh, yuck," and he's polite about it, and he laughs, but ultimately, like maybe you can do an impression, but can you perform? You know, Bill, for a Goofy movie, was under tremendous pressure because a lot of people didn't think that Bill should be the voice of Goofy. They wanted a celebrity. At some point during recording, they asked Bill to just use his own voice. They wanted it to be grounded, but he prevailed. He was able to deliver a human performance as a father dealing with a son, and still be able to be that Goofy, you know, still be able to be that traditional character you love. And I don't think anyone else could have done it besides him, because, you know, he's gifted at what he does. So yeah, I'll remind anyone, especially those who want to get into voiceover, you want to do funny voices, that's great. Make sure you can back it up with a performance.
Yeah, because when you go to a studio, you don't have really a background of the character. They just like, this is your line, this is
what the character
the chapter, like. Or I don't know, and you have to build everything else. So yes, it's really hard.
Yes, it is really hard. I recommend, there's a website that my friend Dee Bradley Baker made. Dee Bradley Baker is a fantastic, ridiculously talented voice actor, and he gets that question a lot. So he made a website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, www.iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, and it will talk about stuff I mentioned. He listed a comprehensive list on a website for anyone who wants to be a voice actor. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, we'll will.
That link in the description in the YouTube.
Definitely do. Please do. Along with the MarsVarietyShow.com. Please put that.
Yeah, of course. Of course, of course.
We'll leave all your social medias in the description.
Yes.
Video.
You know how it works.
Send it to you on Instagram, or we can send it to Remy. And
yeah, absolutely. I get those emails as well. So you can send it to that same email address if you want.
Okay, perfect. So as soon as the video is up, we will send it your way.
Perfect.
And we want to thank you again so much for accepting the interview and for taking the time to be here with us. It was a great pleasure and honor to have you.
Of course.
Just thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you. You both are lovely human beings, and I wish the best for you. And I hope I get to meet you. Let's meet at Disney World.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I'd be like, Lewis, how's it going? How you doing? Down here.
We hope
I'm good. How are you?
One day in the future we can do another interview, but in person. And we also want to let you know that if you ever want to promote something with us on our page, you can message us on Instagram or email it to us, and we'll be more than happy to promote or post about it on our Instagram. And we invite you to Mexico with our arms wide open.
Thank you. I would love to go. I've never been to Tijuana. I've been to, what was that city? Shit, I can't remember. I've been a couple times.
Mexico
City.
Well, not Mexico City. It was more like near the coast. It was like
Rosarito.
Retreat center. Went to more inland. I have to look it up, but definitely must go to Mexico for sure.
Yes, Tijuana, 100%. We have the best tacos.
Oh, all right, sold. Done.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You
Bye.
too.
Have a nice day.
Team, muchísimas gracias por habernos acompañado el día de hoy. Espero que les haya gustado esta entrevista. Recuerden que si les gustó este video pueden darle un like, pueden compartirlo con sus amigos y suscríbanse a nuestro canal de YouTube para ver más entrevistas, o también pueden ir a nuestro Instagram @TEntreEstrellas para que estén al pendiente de todos los live que estamos haciendo con diferentes artistas, que la verdad no es por nada, pero tenemos unos invitados magníficos, maravillosos, y tenemos muchas cosas todavía para todos ustedes. Tenemos muchas dinámicas, tenemos muchos invitados y ya quiero que puedan ver todo lo que se viene para TJ. Los queremos mucho, que tengan un excelente día y nos vemos la próxima en una entrevista más. Adiós, team.
Bye.
Entre estrellas, entre estrellas.